The Helpful Elepaio. This story has been adapted from the book Hawaiian Canoe Building Traditions. Deep in the koa forests of the MΑKUA on Hawaii Island lived a mother elepaio bird and her keiki. One cool, crisp day, Mama Manu was helping her keiki, Punua, find insects to eat in the large koa trees. While perched on a branch, they suddenly heard what sounded like footsteps and quickly learned that they were coming from a man looking up at a tall tree. "Ah, he must be selecting a koa tree for a new va'a," declared Mama. The young Manu asked, "Why is he choosing that tree?" "Because it is tall and straight, Punua. A va'a must be built with trees like that," answered Mama. And Mama was correct. That is just what the man was searching for. Thinking he may have discovered the best tree, he ran back to the village eager to share the news with the Kahuna Kalaiva'a, the canoe builder. Upon hearing the news, the Kahuna Kalaiva'a immediately began preparations. After all, it was his kuleana to ensure they were selecting the right tree, and it was a lengthy process. That night, the Kahuna Kalaiva'a slept by his ahu, waiting for a sign. While sleeping, he received the sign he was hoping for. A man appeared to him in his dreams, telling him that the tree would make a good va'a. So he gathered mohai for the gods, a black pig, ceremonial coconuts, red fish, and ava, and he and his team of helpers set off to the forest. Meanwhile, after having spent several days hunting bugs, Mama and her keiki spied the Kahuna Kalaiva'a in the forest. He seemed to be studying the same tree that the other man had been eyeing. Resting on a tree filled with insects, Mama asked her keiki, "Did you know that we play an important role for the canoe builders? But we're just little manu. How do we help them?" the keiki asked. "We may be small, but our kuleana is great. The trees we feed on are insect-ridden and rotten and unfit to use for va'a. When the kahuna sees us pecking and eating from a tree, he knows to avoid that tree. He'll know the tree is strong and sturdy when he doesn't see any elepaio on it," Mama explained. Punua thoughtfully suggested, "Wow, they really need us. We have an important job. To remove a tree from the forest, you must also give the forest something in return. Listen carefully, and you will hear the kahuna chant to the gods while offering his mohai. He is asking the koa tree for permission to use it to make a va'a and for forgiveness for doing so. By following these traditions, the Kahuna Kalaiva'a shows respect for the Aina, and in return, the Aina provides him with the tree that his people need. Punua, it's been a long day for us. Let's find a place to roost for the night," sighed Mama with a yawn. While Mama and her keiki settled in for the night, the Kahuna Kalaiva'a and his workers slept at the base of their chosen tree. In the morning, the men got straight to work, making a plan to fell or cut down the tree. Their voices woke Mama and her keiki. "Mama, why are the men so loud?" questioned Punua. Quietly, Mama replied, "Aloha kakahiaka e Punua. They are discussing how to cut down the tree safely." Whoosh! Whoosh! Those giant ferns are called hapu'u, and they're used to cushion the fall once the tree is cut. Without them, the tree trunk might split when it hits the ground. If it splits, it would be unusable for the va'a, Mama added. Chop! Chop! They're using a ko'i to make cuts very carefully near the base of the tree. By doing that, they can control the direction in which the tree will fall. Boom! And onto the ferns the tree fell. Curious, Mama and her keiki flew a bit closer to see what the men would do next. Whoa! They did it! It even landed on the ferns like you said, Punua gasped. Now they will start carving it, right, Mama? Not yet, Punua. Next, the kahuna kalai va'a will lead a ceremony as they cut off the treetop with the ko'i, explained Mama. Soon after the ceremony ended, the branches and bark were stripped from the tree. Work could now begin on the hewing or rough shaping of the canoe. Feeling a sense of accomplishment, having cut down the tree safely and having removed the treetop, the men began the next step in their process. As the men finished removing the bark, Punua asked, "Mama, are they done yet?" In a calm voice, Mama's response was the same as before. "Not yet, Punua. Making a va'a requires patience. They must first hew the log before moving it. This is when they use tools to shape the ka'ele, which is the main body of the va'a." Of course, Mama's response caused Punua to ask, "How long does that take?" Mama replied, "It can take many months. You see, this is just the beginning of the koa's new life as a va'a." "It's new life? So even though it was an old tree, it's now like a keiki again?" Punua questioned. "Aye, it's on its way to becoming a va'a." The workers just started shaping the hull, the outside of the va'a, from the tree, Mama explained, adding, "When they finish that, they will carve the ends of the tree to make notches to attach ropes to. After they form the outside of the va'a, they will hollow out the inside, making it much lighter and easier to carry." At last, the day the people had been waiting for arrived. Excitement filled the air. It was hauling day, and many men and women were needed to help. Even though the villagers were excited about hauling the log, they also knew it was a challenging and dangerous task. To prepare, the kahuna kalai va'a conducted a ceremony asking for protection of the hull and the people. Ropes were attached to the hull to make it easier to carry and control as it was hauled down the mountain. "I've never seen the forest so busy before," exclaimed Punua. "Why are all these people here?" "Today is the big day. They will start hauling the log down the mountain to the shore. Many hands make light work, Punua, which is why so many villagers gathered to help. Laulima is vital for every step of the va'a process," shared Mama. "A'ohe hana nui ke alu ia." It means, no task is too big when done together by all. This is another way of saying many hands make light work. The task of transporting the log is very dangerous and can take several days. The movers must haul it over steep cliffs and rocky areas to safely reach its destination. Each person helping has a specific kuleana during this journey. The kuleana of the paleva'a, or canoe protector, for example, is to guide and protect the canoe as it is being moved. Using ropes, they began to steer it carefully down the mountain and chanted, "Ki-yo-wo, ki-yo-wo, huki-yo-wo, huki-yo-wo, ko-o-wo, ko-o-wo, ho'omalo ke kaula, MΑKUA ke kaula." Interested, Mama and Punua followed the people on their harrowing trek. After long and exhausting days of hauling, the log made it safely to the village. As they approached the beach, Punua wondered what would happen next. "Mama, is it done yet?" Punua inquired again. "Is the va'a ready for the ocean?" Mama answered with, "Not yet, Punua. Remember, we must be patient." To keep the hollowed log safe, the villagers placed it in the hollow va'a on the shore. Hollow va'a were located right by the ocean, which made it convenient for launching once it was time. For the next several months, the log lived in the hollow va'a, while the wood was carefully cured before it could be shaped further. The curing process required treating, preparing, drying, and aging the wood so it wouldn't crack or warp. Months later, excitedly, Mama exclaimed, "Punua, I know you've been waiting patiently. Let's go on a huaka'i today to check on the va'a." "I've been waiting for this day for so long. Let's lele," Punua chirped. Together, the manu flew down to the shore. When they arrived, they were happy to see how much progress had been made on the va'a. "Mama, it looks like a finished va'a," Punua asserted. "The last time we saw it, it wasn't ready, and it looked more like a fallen tree than a va'a. Now it looks so smooth." Yes, the men used ko'i to shave away the excess wood. "See those pieces of coral over there? What do you think those were used for?" questioned Mama. When Punua shrugged her shoulders, Mama continued, "They used it to smooth and polish the hull. But there's still more to be done, Punua. Today, they'll use pa'ele to seal and protect the wood." "Wow! How do they make that?" Punua wondered aloud. Mama replied, "They crush the buds, flowers, and roots of the different plants they gathered, like akoko, mai'a, kukui, and ki, to get a black liquid. Then they add charcoal powder from the burnt lauhala to the liquid to make the pa'ele." "Look, Mama! They're painting it on with their bare hands," Punua commented as she watched in amazement. "That's right, Punua. Once the pa'ele dries, they will also coat the va'a with kukui nut oil to make it waterproof," Mama stated. "Before the va'a goes in the water, there's one final step. The va'a must be dedicated during a ceremony before it's able to launch." After the va'a dried in the sun for days, the community gathered to not only celebrate months of hard work, but also witness the consecration and launching of their new va'a. Families watched with appreciation as the kahuna kalai va'a stood proudly next to the va'a and blessed it. Among the people, Mama and Punua joined in watching the ceremony from a nearby branch. Once kahuna blessed the va'a with seawater, men from the crowd volunteered to help carry the va'a. Using ropes, they guided it gracefully into the water. Then, a few men climbed in to take their seats and proudly paddled as the va'a gracefully glided across the ocean. Having witnessed the successful launch of the canoe, Mama and Punua shook their tail feathers in celebration, and with a flurry of feathers, away they flew back to the forest. Pi holo ka'au.